Into the Radius is a different kind of VR game, or I should say it doesn't feel like any other VR game that I've played before. You're alone in this broken, oppressive world trying to survive, and maybe you'll learn what happened or maybe you won't. There's no sign of life other than these creepy shadow things that continuously stalk you wherever you go, and this weird statue girl. And there's a question whether she's alive either.
The block post was part of the Soviet Army's attempt to take control of the situation.
The game is unapologetically hard as well, which only pulls you into the game even more to the point where I had trouble stopping. The game starts out with one of the creepiest tutorials I've ever been through, with the environments filled with odd floating debris and these large statues of a female all around you. That same female appears to want to help you and is your guide throughout the tutorial, but I never really felt comfortable around her and trusted her fully, whether that was intentional or not. The tutorial does a great job explaining the game mechanics to you, so I highly recommend going through it if it is your first time playing. It has you physically performing the actions rather than leaving you a signpost to read or something trying to tell you how everything works. And there are a lot of mechanics here to learn. One of my favorite is how you store your inventory. Along with having multiple places on your body to attach items, like your flashlight or your journal, you're given a full-size backpack that you can physically place items into. It's kind of funny that the items just float there like they're in jello, but it does make it easier to access them if you need it quickly, and it's fun to use. You'll also be using a detector to find invisible anomalies, which you'll need to complete missions, and it'll help you earn money. This thing starts clicking like crazy and changes colors when you're close to an invisible item. When you activate it, there'll be a bright flash and hopefully you'll be able to see whatever item you're looking for. You're instructed to stay stealthy, which has never been my strong suit. You also have to maintain your weapons by cleaning them with various tools like sprays and a toothbrush. This was a first for me and it was actually really cool that this was added. After learning about a few more things, I was ready to get going. I made my way to the front of some building where I was ordered to place my hands above my head.
Stop. Authorized personnel only. Raise your hands above your head for identification.
As any sensible person would do, I didn't listen. I was given a warning shot at first, but then when I continued to stick with my genius strategy, I was promptly corrected. The second go around, I complied and was invited in as Explorer 61. I was led into a small shipping container where I was able to select my first mission and gather a few materials. I also learned that I eat like a badass by using my combat knife as a spoon. My first mission was to find a radioactive atom with the explicit instructions that the task may require using a gun. I stepped out, ignoring more instructions, and went on my way. Upon entering this strange world, I was hit with the feelings of loneliness and uncertainty. Everywhere around me looked broken and dead. Weird ash was floating everywhere, and that ominous sphere always remained in the distance. I approached the first area of my mission and was met with a few friendly shadow people, and promptly ran out of ammo. When I attempted to reload my weapon as gracefully as a one-handed duck, I got to meet my absolute favorite enemy of the game. I like to call it nightmare fuel. After a tactical retreat, I attempted to read a note and got the crap scared out of me. I decided that I was too badass to run and hide from my enemies. I mean, did you see how I ate that can of food? So I decided to get political with the natives. Did I mention this game was hard? Round 2. I did better, but not by much. I at least made it to the spot where my target appeared to be. Using the detector, I found the atom, ransacked the chest, and decided to call it a day. Nightmare fuel showed its ugly face again, so it was time for negotiations. Since I was feeling pretty good with myself, I couldn't help but notice a tall structure near the ropes that would take me back to the compound. I decided to take a look and found out that I'm really bad at climbing. Once I made it to the top, I found another chest, and was surprised by a pre-recorded message letting me know that I was probably going insane.
Most likely suffering from one or more of the following conditions: a sense of displacement, disorientation, memory loss, ataxia, and visual auditory hallucinations.
I took that as a sign to grab the gun, ammo, and snacks, and gracefully exited the tower. Once I got back to the compound, I delivered the atom and got my reward as well as some experience. The next mission had me locating a roll of film. I figured film wasn't nearly as important as a nuclear atom, so I came to the conclusion this mission would probably be a bit easier and left without attempting to restock or bring any new items with me. I made my way up a hill and took in more of the amazing scenery. Amazing is a really good word to describe the environment and Into the Radius because it left me bewildered at what could have happened to this place. I also noticed it started to get dark, and it goes without saying that in the dark, your vision is heavily compromised. So much so that I never saw where this came from. I made my way to where I thought I was supposed to go on the map, and lucky me, got to meet whatever that was face to face. I decided maybe I should look into getting myself a better chance at survival and headed toward the shop. The shop is extensive, offering a ton of ammo types, weapons, and equipment that you can purchase prior to going on your missions, as long as you have enough money and meet the level requirement. I stocked up on some more ammo, refilled my mags, and tried again. It was so dark I needed my flashlight, which was unfortunate because the flashlight attracts enemies, but I still ventured on, obviously making sure to stay as safe as possible. When all of a sudden, I was ready for it this time though and took shelter behind a rock. Out I went again. And again. I decided to take a break and look at the game from a different perspective. Once I came back, I thought maybe going out at night was a bad idea, and maybe I should bring enough ammo and health items to help me actually complete the mission. Things seemed to go much more smoothly this time, and I even discovered a strategy on how to handle my favorite enemy. I made it back to the film's location and decided this was a good idea for some godforsaken reason, and had another chat about diplomacy. But I didn't want to stop. I felt like I was finally so close to getting this mission completed. I arrived once again and took the run and don't look back approach. And finally made it into the trailer. The hallway was covered with these shadowy straw-like things that are weak to light. You shine your flashlight on them and they retreat back to let you through. I started searching around for the film and noticed this neat dust effect when you open and close drawers that really impressed me. I found the film and went to exit the trailer. Unfortunately, the bad guys outside hadn't forgotten about me and were waiting. I ran as fast as I could back to the camp, making sure to look around for anything that wanted to ambush me, and keeping an eye on my stamina. I made it! I can't tell you the amount of victory and accomplishment I felt when I finally made it back in one piece. And this was just the second mission. It was at this point that I had a newfound respect for Into the Radius. It had changed how I looked at survival games, and although I wasn't as scared running through the mission on my second, third, or fourth try, I was definitely more aware and alert. You're never safe in this game, and as soon as you think you are, you're reminded what happens when you let your guard down. And I barely scratched the surface as to what this game offers. CM Games has really gone above and beyond with how polished everything is and the amount of content that you get. If you're looking for a truly unique experience in VR, I can't recommend Into the Radius enough. It's become one of my favorite games, and you should definitely take a look.